Unchained here on Pahrump News. I'm your host, Deanna O'Donnell. Hope you're doing good today. We didn't have a show last week because you guys may have heard that's a dear friend of mine and also my co-host in many different aspects, and also helping me with the parade and with Fall Festival on stage. She passed away, and that is Maria Guerra. She was 54 years old. Maria unexpectedly passed away at the Southern Hills Hospital. She was taken there last week because she had colitis, and it was acting up, and so she went down there because she was in a great deal of pain. They happened to give her some morphine, and we're not exactly sure what happened after that, except for that she aspirated and basically choked and unexpectedly passed away. So unfortunately, we are mourning the loss of a great person who worked for Nye County for 25 years as the WIC officer here for women and infant children. You saw Maria here on the show talking about her job for WIC and talking about her own passion, music, and her company that she created called TuneScribe, which helps promote artists. And so Maria left behind 4 children, and her love of her life, Corey Smith, who's also a musician in his own right. And so we are in the middle of raising funds for the family to help pay for her funeral services and to help out a little bit with any other necessities that they have. You can find the GoFundMe page on my personal Facebook page. You can also find it on the Pahrump News page and Nye County Citizens Report, which is a new page that I have created for people to report things on their own so that you guys feel empowered to report whatever you would like to report. You can talk about politics. You can report something happening in your neighborhood. You can promote your events, but it is a way for our own people here in Nye County to have their own voice. So if you want to find out more, you can go to that Facebook page. But we are encouraging people to donate to that GoFundMe page if possible. And of course, we'll be letting everybody know about the upcoming funeral services for Maria. We know that she touched a lot of people's lives here in Nye County, saw a lot of families grow up from the time that she was helping the kids since they were little with nutrition and their mothers with breastfeeding and all of that until they're full-grown adults. And so a lot of people here knew her and loved her very much. She was definitely a smiley, positive force here in Nye County. So we are still mourning that loss. We do have a special guest on our show tonight, and that is Tim Bohannon. You may have heard him. You may, if you're definitely a regular listener to the Board of County Commissioners. He calls in and comments a lot and gives his opinion about a lot of things going on here in the county, and he has decided to put his hat in the ring as far as running for Nye County Treasurer. So we are going to speak to Tim Bohannon right after this break.
Sponsored by 1-2-Tree, handyman, yard cleanup, yard maintenance, and so much more. Give them a call at 775-253-8066. We will leave you with a smile. Axe Exterminators. Give those pests the axe. Give them a call today for general pest control, rodents, termites, bed bugs, and so much more in Pahrump, Amargosa, Beatty, and surrounding areas. 775-990-2065.
All right, I'm here with my guest. It is Tim Bohannon, and he's a candidate for Nye County Treasurer. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, very good.
Good.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being here. So tell me about your campaign.
So my campaign right now, I'm running as a nonpartisan candidate and focused in on getting signatures, required signatures. We have, as nonpartisan, you need to have 100 registered voters on your campaign signatures, and then from there you go straight to the general election.
Yeah. And so do you got all your signatures yet?
No, I need a few more.
Yeah.
And we're working that on Saturday at the Root Center. We're working that at Tonopah next weekend, and then after that we're doing Round Mountain.
Because you're going to Jim Butler Days.
I'm going to Jim Butler Days.
Yeah, I love
Absolutely.
Jim Butler Days. So much fun. And then what made you want to run for Nye County Treasurer?
Well, I saw the audit report that MacArthur brought out, and we had issues with internal controls over financial reporting. In the early 2000s, mid 2000s, my whole background in living was based on that, dealing with internal controls over financial reporting, trying to make sure that we had good quality reports, transparency in those reports, and that we are able to tell the people what's going on.
What's wrong with our reports right now?
Right now, we don't have as much transparency as I would like to see. We don't know how our investments are performing. We don't know if they're performing well. We don't know if they're not performing well. We don't know what rate of return they're receiving. It's not being disclosed.
So I remember seeing those before on the treasurer's reports, like our investments and what they were doing and stuff.
The investments are there, but the performance is not.
Oh, okay.
So you can see, okay, here's our balance, which is a good reconciliation tool. But what you don't see is what's the performance. And that's what we're looking at here. I want to make sure that we have good performance within the Treasury, our cash management. I want to make sure that we're doing as much as we can in the Treasury office to help our county as we go through tough financial times.
And you talked a lot about, before we started, we were talking about his background, which is vast, right?
Quite a bit. I've been doing accounting work. Actually, the first time I did any accounting work, I was 14 years old in my grandfather's furniture shop in Crocker, Missouri.
Yeah.
And
say Missouri.
I did have to say Missouri. And basically, he did auction on Friday nights and Saturdays, but he also had a store up front, taking the inventory, knowing what's there. That's where I got the first taste of it.
Yeah.
Then went to college later on, took business, but I didn't take accounting at that time. Went back and got my accounting classes, so I had 150 hours, and then sat for the CPA. After that, went to my public accounting service was with PricewaterhouseCoopers and Crow. Did a lot of banking, financial institutions, a lot of professional services to make sure that, hey, I've done some manufacturing accounts as well, and worked on a combination of financial, internal audit, and also consulting work as well.
Yeah, you just caught that accounting bug.
I did. Give me a number. I was happy with it.
And then you worked for many other banks. I mean, we were talking a little bit about PwC.
Yeah, so
Capital
PwC,
One.
That was more general, high wealth individuals, and Bank One was one of the main clients for me. And then I also had to deal with one of these international too, so that was fun.
Oh, really?
Fast forward to about 5 years ago, I helped them implement the FCCS product that they were doing at the Oracle.
Yeah.
So FCCS is Financial Cloud Close. So it's part of the financial close process. Sorry to get to accounting speak here, but from a standpoint of making sure that your financials are well reported, doing that was a piece of the puzzle.
And let's talk about a little bit of that, because you were talking about accounting speak. But don't you have to really be a person that's passionate about accounting to want to
It's absolutely
do this
helpful.
job? And then also a lot of that experience, not just a regular accountant, but on all these different avenues, especially if you're doing some investments for...
See, that's the other thing. From a banking background perspective, I have the banking background. I've had to work in wealth management areas and some of the security areas within some of the audits I've had. From a banking perspective, it's helpful to have that background. I've got over 20 years of that. 27 years as a CPA, and a whole lot more. From working with the Treasurer's Office, the key functions to me are making sure that we can tell what we have, that's reconciliation and proper reporting, tell where we're going, which we need more of that in our county. We don't forecast very well, and that's something I want to see improved. Making sure that we have controls over financial reporting, and communication.
Yeah.
One of the issues that came up as a material weakness was communication. That communication between finance and treasury is very important. They go, going one hand in hand is part of the way that makes this successful from a finance standpoint, making sure people are talking.
Because there were some issues in the office before, and one of the biggest complaints was, there was no communication between the treasurer and the staff. And let's talk a little bit about your supervisory experience there.
Well, I had an excellent team when I was with JP Morgan Chase. We had 5 folks that were developing controls over model governance. Chase had not done that before, and we implemented that process. We also implemented what was called FICO Model Central, now it's called FICO Decision Central, to communicate what's happening with the flow of the development of models. What that means is knowing where the data is, knowing who's working on it, knows who's executing, know who's validating the data to make sure when they report the financial reports that they're accurate and tell a good story.
And then what do you see that you would like to change in that office besides the reporting, or keep the same that you really think is really great?
Well, I want to make sure that we have disclosure of what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't have for the public, it may be happening internally, but we don't know that. But what we need is we need a little bit more transparency to the people. How are we performing? How are our investments doing? We do have a balance sheet, trial balance, if you will, of what's happening with the investment dollars, but we're not seeing the performance and we're not seeing the risk.
And that's something that is always an issue when we're talking about the town. We're talking about parks, we're talking about roads, we're talking about all these things. Everybody says Nye County has no money, right?
That's an important part too, timing.
Yeah.
Because some of our investments were longer term. You hit the different cycle, you have to be very careful. Because if you're stretched out and the cycle goes down, that's going to impact you. If you're stretched out, cycle goes up, that's a different response. As we know, we're having challenges today with what's happening in oil, which is driving cost up, and have we made adjustments for that? Are we looking for that? Now, most of that comment right there is the finance area.
Yeah.
But be able to pay for it, do we have enough money to pay the bills?
Yeah.
Are we saving enough money? Are we investing enough money that we get it back so they can pay the bills?
Well, I was talking to the sheriff recently, and he was saying that there is some issues at the sheriff's office with some money. They're not exactly sure what's going on with that. There was some budget issues. So is that something that you would be overseeing as well?
He has budget challenges, but that's more of the finance area. Ours is to make sure there's enough cash there. And also making sure that folks are properly and accurately billed. So from that perspective, do you know what's on your property tax bill? Do you understand it? I get a lot of questions from citizens saying, I don't understand my bill. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That communication is kind of important. Teaching the public, educating the public, hey, here's what your bill says. Here's the tax rate that you're paying. I'll get in. Some folks say, I don't know what county gen is. What is county gen? Well, it's county general fund. So you're paying for the county general fund, but you're also paying for schools. You're paying for other aspects. You're paying for roads.
Mm-hmm. How would you get that information out there better?
I've actually had to do this.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm doing it right now with a client today. Is making sure that you set up some training. It's a combination. Do you do a mass training? In our case, you want to get some general information out. That's part of the dashboarding and disclosure methodology. And then occasionally you'll have to do one-on-ones. And those one-on-ones are, hey, you'll get a question from a concerned citizen. Hey, let me walk you through your bill, and here's what's going on. Here's why it is 2%. Here's why it's this percent. So you would have to do that.
And you're serving on a board right now, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. So I serve on the two things. I serve on Nye County Parks and Recreation Advisory Board up in Carver's Round Mountain area. And I also serve on the Pahrump Regional Planning Commission.
And so tell me about
very
that.
Busy.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Pahrump Regional Planning Commission because a lot of people go to the Board of County Commissioners meetings or they listen to them, but Regional Planning Commission is where all these things kind of pop up. So you might want to pay a little bit more attention to the Regional Planning Commission.
So from a regional planning position perspective, sometimes you just can't address it all at the BOCC. But we will get detailed questions. We're going through continual use permits. We go through what's happening with signage and billboards. We go through what's happening with, different approvals. I think one of them is we have about horses that's coming up this week too. So you get different things and different experiences.
You guys had the Medi-Waste, which was a hot item, right?
That actually was before my time.
Yeah.
I came
He
on
likes
board
to make sure people
later
know
than
that.
I do. I came on board after that, but one of the challenges we have is after it gets past the regional planning. So if that in that instance is approved, now it's over to the BOCC or over the legal matters to address certain things. It's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
a lot of different events. I have not been on when the chickens were on,
Yeah.
but.
Oh gosh, what was that with the chickens? I tell me the details.
Okay,
Remind
so
me
I
again.
was actually there in the audience. A 2.5 hour public comment on chickens. What was happening is they were trying to give additional rights on some of the properties, and it
yeah,
wasn't
that's
well
right.
communicated, so the people didn't quite understand.
That's
what was
right.
happening.
People were worried that you were going to take their chickens away. Is that
Especially the roosters. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in certain areas of town.
Yes.
And people were really upset about it. And, oh, gosh. Well, you know what? That's what I notice a lot of times is, oh, I heard that. We're having a noise over here. I heard it again. But people won't have all of the information, and then sometimes they'll show up, and then they'll find out during the whole process that they were completely wrong.
Well, what's very
it's almost like a
interesting-
Rosanna Deanna moment. It's like, oh,
So
never mind.
When I do the regional planning, so I'll spend the weekend and then early this week prepping for the meeting. I go, okay, what am I thinking? I see the documentation, I see the backup. How do I feel about it? Okay, that's one. What does NRS say about it? That's two. Then I go, well, do I have a conclusion where I'm at? Usually it's maybe yes, maybe no, but I always want to hear what the people say.
Yeah.
Because that helps me make a better decision
Yeah.
when we get feedback. And we absolutely love public
Yeah.
comment with that.
And it's really important to look at those items and then look at all the backup.
Absolutely.
Do your own research. Try to get all the questions answered before you go up there. And before other people show up
Right.
all upset and heated and then find out that it's not the things that they thought
And
it was.
then call out, ask questions, email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reach out if there's questions, because we like that. Because it allows us to go through the item too and go, well, here's what our constituents are saying. Here's what we see. Here's a little bit more information we may know. We can kind of communicate that during the meeting as well.
It's important because everybody has different situations that they're going through that you may not have even considered.
Oh,
'Cause,
absolutely.
Yeah, you don't know
Yep.
what's going on sometimes with other people's lives, their house, their
So
property.
we highly value public
yeah,
feedback.
yeah, exactly. And then you serve on another board,
I serve on Nye County Park and Rec.
and that's
That's actually at the Carvers Arena, which is up north of Tonopah.
oh, okay. So not the local one here.
No.
How are you able to serve up there?
A lot of driving. So it's a 4-hour drive up,
Wow.
4.5 hour drive up, 4.5 hour drive
Oh
back.
my gosh.
Sometimes I'll stay there, and those who have been up north, Jumpin' Jack Flash, I have been there,
Yeah.
that motel once
Uh-huh.
or twice. But I'll stay in town up north. What's important is, we do it in the evening. We get a lot of feedback there. We had a kickoff event September of last year for the trap range.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did was we installed 6-7 traps for trap shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It enabled students of the school to be able to get credit.
Yeah.
That is a new
Oh,
program.
okay. Because I did see, because I do read the agendas for all the other town boards, and I saw there's a lot of action going on up in
There is.
that area.
There
You guys are really doing some things.
Yeah, and this arena this arena rec area had not really been looked at for quite a few years.
Yeah,
So we're giving it attention. We also got a CDBG grant
yeah.
for, I think, $265.
Oh, wow.
So now we're going to be
That's really good.
updating the facilities with restroom and hopefully a concession there,
Wow.
so that we can get more events. They'll have as many as 50, maybe 100 people at an event
Oh, wow.
And then,
Fantastic.
the rodeo will come later.
Bring in
but
some tourism too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so let's talk about where you're going to be at next, because we already talked about you're going to be at Jim Butler Days. Where else are you going to be at this weekend?
This weekend, there's an activity over at the Root Center. Make sure you go to it. I don't know. I don't have a lot of details on it. All I know is some of the folks have said, "Hey, make sure you get there." It sounds like a fantastic event. Getting meet and greet quite a few people.
Yeah.
Tonopah, or up in Tonopah, Jim Butler Days. That would be an experience because I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I get to hear Commissioner Jabor talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like he talks about Jim Butler Days. I hear about Jim Butler Days,
Yeah.
but I've never experienced it.
That's so much fun.
So there'll be
it.
a first for me.
Well, it goes on for 4 days, so you
Yeah.
have all these different things
Yeah.
every night and stuff, and then of course the parade is wonderful and stuff, and just the town itself is.
Now I plan to walk in the parade.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
So,
good.
yeah.
And people can meet you at the Bob Roode Center. Do you have a website or a Facebook page that people can look
The
up?
website will be up shortly. I'm getting the donation button locked in with the bank, and after that's done, then the website's up.
And if they want to contact you?
Contact me 775-747-9272. The website is bo4treasure.com.
Number 4?
BO the number 4
treasure.com. All right, and then you can find that. And then, of course, Tim Bohannon, you can check him out at these upcoming events. And I'm sure he'll let everybody know pretty soon where else he's going to be. We'll see Facebook posts and stuff as well. Thanks so much for
Absolutely.
coming by.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Thanks so much, Tim, for speaking with us. And if you are a candidate, you can contact us, 775-299-9992. You can also message me on Facebook if you'd like to, and come on the show. And right now we're going to go to your Save a Pet with Christy Sigmund from the Nye County Animal Shelter.
Sponsored by Want to Tree, handyman, yard cleanup, yard maintenance, and so much more. Give them a call at 775-253-8066. We will leave you with a smile.
Hi, I'm Christy Sigmund, and I'm here at the Nye County Animal Shelter with Merryweather. Merryweather is a fan favorite here at the shelter. She walks wonderfully. She loves her treats. She has experience with dogs and cats and kids. She just all around is a wonderful, wonderful girl. She's a little shy. She takes a little bit of time to warm up, but I think that's just a wonderful part of her personality. If you would like to come and meet Miss Merryweather, you can come down to the Nye County Animal Shelter at 1580 East Seary Lane. Our phone number is 775-751-7020. You can visit 24petconnect.com to see all of our available kiddos. Through May 17th, we are still participating in the Bissell Empty the Shelter event. And through a generous sponsorship through a citizen here in Pahrump, all of our adoption fees are sponsored for the whole rest of May. So come down and see us today.
Thanks so much, Christy, for showing us those wonderful animals. We do want to let everybody know about the Kiss a Pig competition, who won that. We did post it on the Pahrump News page, but we want to thank and congratulate Michelle Nelson, who is a candidate for Nye County District Attorney. She won that Kiss a Pig competition, and we want to thank all the people who participated in that wonderful fundraiser. Everybody was able to raise so much funds. I want to thank Eddie O'Brien for standing in for me for that event. And of course, all the people who participated from the Moose Lodge and doing that, including Shannon Arimura, who put that whole event on. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Unchained here on Pahrump News. I'm your host, Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.
Axe exterminators. Give those pests the axe. Give them a call today for general pest control, rodents, termites, bed bugs, and so much more in Pahrump, Amargosa, Beatty, and surrounding areas. 775-990-2065.